Okay, guys, welcome. We want to download Git Bash, but before we get started, let's know what we are trying to do and the relation between Git Bash and Git. So before we even get started to download that, first you have to understand this concept and what each of them stand for. First, what is Git? Git is a distributed version control system. Um, what is that? It's a big word, but if you're trying to if you try to look deeply into that, it really means that it helps every user, every user to have every developer or programmer to have a clone or a copy of their repository. A copy, sorry, supposed to be repo, a copy of their repository. By repository, we simply means a collection of files, right? Those files, they have them in their local machine or their computer hard drive. So it helps them have their own the files. Probably they might be working in a group, right? Or coding alone. Git is going to help them have a copy of their repo, which is remote. There is a remote version. That means the one that is saved on GitHub or online, the other version control system. One, so have it will help them have that copy in their local machine, which they can work on locally. So how does that concern? What is the relation of that with Git Bash? Okay, and we are trying to download Git Bash, right? Git Bash is a shell that runs on top of the window command prompt. I want you to get that, and it provides a number of Git commands. Okay, that are not available in the Windows command prompt. So there are a lot of commands that are not available in the command prompt. If you try to use the git command on the command prompt, it's not going to work because the command prompt does not recognize that git command. So for you to use such command or a lot of them, you have to install Git Bash on your system. So why Git Bash? Why do you want to use Git Bash? Why do you want to install Git Bash? Why Git Bash? Because Git Bash is useful for developers who want to use Git or Windows. They want to have this version control system called Git on their Windows machine, but do not want to use the Windows command prompt. There is Windows command prompt, but it's limited to the command it can accept. So you want to download Git so that you can use the Windows command prompt to the fullest. I believe you understand that. To use Git, you need to download an application called Git Bash. That's just the summary of all. All right. So before we even get started to download it, I want to show you something. Before we go downloading it, if you come here and you want to type Windows PowerShell, so just locate that, and if you tried opening it, not coming up. Okay, just hold on. Yeah, Windows PowerShell, I believe it's up. Okay, there is it. So if you come to Windows PowerShell, try to, how do you know that you have Git or not? Try to run the command Git. Try run the command Git -- version. It's going to throw an error because it's saying that Git is not recognized as a command. It's going to throw an error. And again, apart from PowerShell, if you also try to look for your command prompt, and also try the same thing here. Okay, this is different from PowerShell. Okay, this is command prompt. Also try to run Git. Also try to run Git dash dash version. Git is not recognized, right? That command is not recognized here. So after we download and install Git, we are going to run the same command, and you see that then there will be changes. So go ahead and download it, and later on we run the same. And you search for Git download. So I'll hit enter. So it's going to load. I'll come here. You see this first icon here. I'll go ahead and click on it, Git download. So I'll wait for it to load and it will bring me here. Then I'll search for which of these I'm using. Mac OS, Windows, Linux, or Unix. So I'm using Windows. I'm going to click on Windows. If yours is Mac or Linux, you should go ahead and select that. So I'll go ahead and click on Windows. Yes. So it asks which, either I'm using 32-bit or 64-bit. Then this is the other. So I advise you come here and install this. Though you could do this latest version, but I'm not sure this portable version is working. So since I'm using 64, if you're using 32-bit, you go ahead and click here. So I'm using 64-bit. I will just click on 64-bit Git for Windows. So it's going to load up. Yes, it's downloading, but I'll just go ahead and cancel this. Reason be that I already have it downloaded on my system. So if I come here, I go to my downloads, you can see Git here, 2.39.1, 64-bit. So I'll come here and click on this. Then I'll do run as administrator. So it's going to load. Yes, it's going to pop this up. Do you allow this to make changes to your computer? I'm going to click yes. Okay, so I'll just wait for it a bit. All right, so it's pop up. It's showing me this. I'm going to click next. Please follow the instructions step by step so that you not miss it as we go over it. So I'll click next. It's going to save here, set up the Git into the following folder, program files, Git. I want it's okay there, but you can click on browse to choose any other path you want to save this. So I'll click next. Yes. So I'll come here, additional icon, I'll just do this on the desktop. I want the icon to also show on my desktop, so I'll just click on that. I'll click next. Okay, Git next. Yeah, so this is, you have other options. So I'll just leave it at this. Use Vim, the ubiquitous text editor. I'll click next. I'll click next. Then please look here carefully. I'll select the third option. Use Git and optional units 2 from the command prompt. I'll click next. I'll click next again. Then next. Again next. 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 Again, I'll click next. All right, then I'll go ahead and do install. So it's going to extract those files and folders that are needed for Git to be stored. So let's just wait in a few minutes, in a few seconds rather, that will be done. So it's extracting the files and all the dependables that are needed by Git to run. I'll just wait for it to install all of these, and Okay, so yeah, almost done here. So let's just allow it finish running. All right, so we are done with this. So we could, I don't want to view release notes, just launch Git. For me, that's what I want. So I'll click on finish and it's going to launch Git. So, yep, you have it here. So let's see, you could go ahead. The first test I want you to run to the version of Git you have. So you will go ahead and do Git dash dash version. Hit enter. You see this is giving me the version of Git. So this has been stored. Again, you could go and search for your PowerShell and test it on that also. So if I come here and do PowerShell, again, I want to do git dash dash version. All right, you see, so it's stored completely. So thank you for watching. Please like and